Welcome to day 26 of the course in Mastery. Now that you have a foundation laid for your personal financial management and the importance of your beliefs about money, we're going to cover the principles of wealth, the principles that take you from thinking to doing. Today, Tom Wood relates a valuable lesson he learned from one of the wealthiest men on the planet, and then real estate maven Laurel Meyer tells the steps to go through when creating a plan to build wealth. Here's Tom.
There's one principle to wealth that changed everything for me. Once I mastered personal financial management, I thought I was going to be rich. But what I actually learned is how not to be poor. The secret to wealth is known by every, and I mean every person who's rich. This secret will change everything for you. Now, before I tell you, I want you to understand that the secret to building wealth means that it's also the secret to having impact on a lot of people's lives. Because wealth equals impact in the financial world or impact in the marketplace. So every time you create another dollar, you've also created impact in people's lives. Here's the secret. Wealth is created by streams of residual income. Now, residual income is nothing more than leveraged income. That means you're not trading your time for your money. An example, a doctor who earns his money by every patient he sees is not wealthy. Because if he stops seeing patients, he stops earning money. However, a doctor that takes some of her money and leverages it in investments in other companies has now started to create residual wealth. Robert Kiyosaki, in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, explains that once your residual income is higher than your expenses, your daily or monthly expenses, you have now gotten out of the rat race. If you want to get out of the rat race, you must create streams of residual income that go far and above and beyond your monthly expenses. I know people who make $250,000 a year who are incredibly poor. They have no residual income. The key is, it's not how much you make, it's how much residual you keep. Keep that in mind as I explain to you how to create residual income. Residual income can come in many forms. Real estate may be residual income or it may not be. Just buying a house is not creating residual income, but buying a property where the rent actually exceeds the mortgage and the expenses and the fees and the taxes is residual income. An investment may or may not be residual income. If you buy an investment and it crashes, that's not residual income. But if you buy an investment that pays dividends, that's residual income. A savings account is residual income, although the residual is so low, it's not necessarily a residual income that will get you wealthy. A business that you start where you have employees can be residual income because you're leveraging your employees to create wealth while you allow yourself to step back and watch the business work. Network marketing is a great way for people to create residual income because they're leveraging the efforts of others so that they may create income. Also, affiliate programs on the internet can be a great way to create residual income. If you sell a product that pays you month after month, you've now created residual income. The key to all of this is to create streams of residual income. You must focus until you build income, residual income that exceeds what your monthly expenses are. The first thing I look for when presented with a new business idea is, will it create residual income? Will there be income for me after I walk away that comes in month after month, year after year? The other things I look for are, will it be fun? There are too many businesses out there that I don't have to do something I don't like. Number two, will it make a difference in people's lives? There are too many businesses out there where if I'm not making a real impact, I don't want to really be a part of it. And number three, is it going to be profitable and when? So now, you understand the principle of wealth. Every effort you make in business, make sure it's going to create residual income for you. We've got more to talk about tomorrow, so I'll see you then.
Thanks, Tom. Laurel Meyer is the founder of Live Out Loud, a master coach, a financial strategist, as well as a self-made millionaire who is dedicated to helping people master money management. She speaks from personal successful experience and has applied the principles she describes to empower people to build wealth and achieve financial success. In this clip, though she is speaking directly about building a real estate business, what she says can be applied to any venture through which you are aiming to build wealth. Here's Laurel.
Where do you put the property so it protects the rest of your assets? We're going to talk about a wealth organization chart, which means your trust is at the top. Because isn't your goal, or I guess I should actually ask it this way, is your goal to hold wealth for generations to come? Right? So for some people, especially if you have children, I have a little 3.5-year-old son, my goal is to create an investment plan and a strategy that's held in trust for generations and generations to come. So my goal is not to build this wealth and send it through government probate, right? Is that the right answer? Yes? Okay. So we're going to be building an organization chart for you. So if the trust is at the top, what entity should hold this mammoth structure called your wealth? See, I think there's a big myth. Like when you think about being a millionaire, how many of you want to be a millionaire in here? Because we are all about it. John's about it, I'm about it. We know how to do it. We've done it multiple times. So to do that, isn't it interesting that a lot of people think that it's going to come to one personal bank account? Do you know what the government's going to do if it comes to one personal bank account? Half of it's going to be handed over to them on a silver platter. Right? So it's not coming like that. It's going to come through various asset entity protection structures. So we're going to talk about how do you do that in a very, very strategic way. Okay, how do you protect the money as it keeps rolling? Because how many of you know, and you've already been a part of it, when it starts coming, it comes so fast, it's like managing the foundation. Don't you love that? Isn't that fun? It's going to come so fast. So I want you to answer this question. As you think about building, leading, and protecting your real estate business, is it an investment or a business to you? Is real estate an investment or a business, or is it both? And there'll be all answers in this room. So there's no right or wrong. To me, it's an investment on one side because I'm a passive investor in larger units, a lot of the stuff that John's talking about. We have almost 300 units in Oklahoma City, almost $3 million properties that we have in Oklahoma City. So we have nearly 100 units in each of those. So that's much more of a passive game than I'm playing in the larger buy and holds. And I'm running a business called Get Real. Okay, so I want you to really start making some distinctions about your life and your business. Why do you think that's important? A lot of people all put it under their life. Do you know what I'm talking about? What's the danger if you don't start separating it? Right, so you don't know, you're not, I'll say from a business standpoint, what I see when people collapse their business in their life is that if the business isn't profitable, they're unwilling to cut it loose. And what they do, I've seen people go down to bankruptcy because they're not willing to cut it loose. So we're going to talk about revenue modeling. Is when you do decide on your real estate strategy, how do you make sure that you have mapped revenue all the way through, that you're getting what you want? You're getting the rate of return. You're getting the yields that John Childers talked about earlier. Not hoping for them, you're getting them. Okay, so that's mapping a plan for revenue. Are we up for that? Okay, you guys see you're going to roll up your sleeves a little bit? We're going to be working on it. Okay, 7 steps to building a business. And I'm talking in a general sense of when you build a business, because I love entrepreneurialism. Love it, love it, love it. Love building businesses. And in fact, this program, Building, Leading, Protecting Your Business, we're going to be talking about it from the context of how do you build a real estate business. So in general, I believe that your vision is something that's absolutely imperative that you get clear about. We're going to come back through and I'm going to talk about these in detail. It's just an overview right now. So vision is absolutely important. You've got to know where you're going. What's the destination, right? I mean, I'm at a very different point in my career than John Childers is, right? I'm a very different point in my career. Actually, John Desar and I are more similar in our positions, having families right now, younger families. Strategy, what are the strategies that are going to get you your vision, okay? Talk about the difference. Revenue modeling. If that strategy doesn't make cash, then don't call it a business, call it a hobby and put it on the shelf. Right? I see so many people wanting to dabble in things and they wonder why they can't get profitable. Okay? Protection. You'll hear me talk about that all the time. Make sure you have asset protection, the right kind of entity structure, and tax protection. We see people so many times in our mentoring program, they'll come in and one strategy session would save them $5,000 to $10,000. Recently worked with a chiropractor, saved them over $50,000 in taxes because they weren't set up accurately. So there's an enormous amount of money that could go towards your wealth building plan that you're paying in taxes because you don't know, you're not set up accurately. Don't you love that? It's going to save so much money by the time you leave. Marketing. We're going to talk about marketing in the context of real estate. We've already started talking about it. How do you get buyers? We're also going to talk about how do you get investors, and we're going to talk about how do you acquire properties. So all three all require marketing and all require sales. Okay, and the last one's leadership. And leadership's not last because it's last in order. Leadership is absolutely critical in all steps and all phases of this, right? Because it's your job to lead your vision. If you're not the one that's leading out loud and really telling everyone your elevator speech about your vision, who's going to do it? So what I find is you care more about your business than anybody else. You care more about your money than anyone else. Would that be true? Yes. Yeah. No one else cares. I always say to moms, I said, nobody cares about your money, just like no one cares about your children as much as you do. That's probably true for you too, right? No one cares about it as much as you. And it's so interesting watching people behaviorally abdicate their money and just pass it off to financial planners, pass it off to different people without leading the rate of returns that they expect.
Tomorrow, we'll look at a strategy that all the financial experts recommend when it comes to creating lasting wealth that stands the test of time and economic turns. We'll see you tomorrow.